You know what I always wonder though too, like it's funny how you mentioned how we talking about that too, cause there's like personality disorder. Is that real? Like when a person can have like different personalities and like somebody's just talking in their head and then they person
like
that
a schizo, like a schizo.
Well, that wouldn't that
Oh,
be
no,
considered
schizo's
a
like
different, like a
screaming.
medical, a more medical?
no, like yeah, there was like a movie on it too, and it was like he was just like a different person
Split?
each day. Yeah,
Split.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I really like,
I guess like people like that gotta be intrigued into that, right? Like,
no, yeah, it was that movie that I'm talking about because it's like I really wonder if there's like a real thing with that.
It's so the thing is, what would be considered multiple personality disorder, I think, is called dissociative identity disorder. I'm not an expert at
DID.
all in it. I don't know really anything about it. But it's funny that you guys mentioned that because I recently listened to a podcast, a therapy podcast, where they were talking about bad representations of mental disorders and like therapy in media. And Split came up because it is such a stigmatized, criminalized example of dissociative identity disorder that it's, I mean, I like the movie, but when I heard that podcast, I'm like, damn, you're right. Like, that is a terrible example. And it further stigmatizes people who actually experience that, especially, like you said, schizophrenia.
Yeah.
It's so branded as something that it's inflated into something that it isn't really accurate, that people approach people who suffer from schizophrenia with that kind of like hands off, like, oh, they're gonna explode at some point where you don't even know what the person's going through. And that's why doing stuff like this is so important, because the more that we call out this misinformation, the better we will get as a society and evolve to learn that, okay, we need to be a little bit more empathetic in these approaches, and we need to be a little bit more aware of what is the individual struggle, not just what are their symptoms that they're presenting.
yeah,
Symptoms are important because they're telling a story, but you have to listen to that story.
That's facts. That's facts.
Yeah.
That's true.
So like you would say like a person with like schizophrenia would like need like a therapist.
I would say a person with schizophrenia would need an appropriate care team if they are suffering. They would need to get diagnosed. Yeah, I think that they would need an
I
appropriate
mean,
care team.
with my I'm sorry, to cut you, but with my experiences working at the hospital, I do believe in that. Like people who do suffer from schizophrenia, they will have to build a team of doctors, nurses, social workers, and everything just to make sure that this person stays as a member in society.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't want to say crazy, but because it's not a word for
we're not
this
using
type
the
of
word
thing.
crazy anymore. It's 2023, we evolving, we being
Nah,
more
man.
politically correct.
That gotta be politically correct.
Yeah, because nowadays, some people, like, they'll do one of those look up in the sky and whisper something to themselves.
We all do though.
I know. So now my
We all
thing
talk.
is,
myself?
We all talk to each other.
so
Yeah, we
now
all talk to
some
ourselves.
Some
Man, like,
people would say it's always good to talk to yourself, but not answer yourself.
I answer myself too. Why
Two
not?
sides of your brain.
You know what I'm saying? Why
Bitch, what are you
not?
doing? I don't fucking know.
Exactly, yeah, right there, exactly right there. Like, fuck, like, yeah, bro, like, yeah, you look at, damn, should I be eating this? Yeah, I think I should be. We do that all the time. We just don't realize it. We walk by the streets. Because when you're walking down the street, what are you really doing?
You're thinking.
Right?
But now you
your,
see,
your brain is going.
now this plays into that whole voice in your head thing. Like, remember when you say it all depends? Remember when you said it all depends on who's, is it your voice that you're listening to or someone else's voice? You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're walking down the street. Now that intrusive thought that you're thinking of, is it your voice or is it somebody else is telling you, yo, what if you just jump in front of this bus right now? Will your family miss you? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. That's the wild thought about.
Yo, bro, you know, you know what's crazy? You saying that, bro? Like, it's not funny, but dude, the thoughts that go through people's minds, and I'm be real right now, right? Thoughts like that, when then you be like, oh, do my family miss me? And then you jump right into be like, I won't even be here to know if they fucking miss me or not. So why the fuck am I even thinking about this
you
shit?
answer
Like,
yourself.
I'm
You answer
asking myself,
yourself.
right? Like, I swear to God, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, what? No, what? What
That's
the
a
fuck
good
I'm
one.
doing? Like, I wouldn't even be here. Well, I'm gonna see them be in the sky. They miss me. Yeah, they miss me. No, there's no way. So yeah, I do answer myself, bro. Like,
I watch a lot of movies, and Ghost is one of my number one movies.
Ghost is my shit.
So if I could be like Patrick Swayze and watch somebody from 1,000 and be like,
Bro, if that was real, I still wouldn't do that because myself. But still, I wait for my time to come, bro. Like,
that's funny though.
No, but it's true. But I have a thing like because doctors, right? When they try to diagnose people, like who is it up to diagnose these people with these problems, right? Because sometimes I feel like it's a fine line, and people diagnose certain things without it even being that, right?
Absolutely.
And then you got somebody, oh, he's diagnosed with this, and you're like they get older and all that, whatever case, and that's not even the case. So why you even diagnose them from the beginning with that, right? So the criteria, like, do you feel like people just overlook certain things just to get shit moving,
the ball rolling.
right? Just get things moving, and that those type of things happen in these
That's a good
fields.
question.
In the way he sees it, like, all right, like certain, like nowadays, you're a young therapist, right? The reason why he's bringing that up is because nowadays in the medical field or in fields like of yours, right? People more worried about the money.
Right.
You know
That's what I'm saying, right?
So, like, for instance, like me working in the hospital, I can see new residents come in. The old residents, you can see the empathy, the sympathy. You can see them care for you. These new ones will be like, all right, when was the last time you felt this way? How did you feel this way? This, that. All right, here's a medication. Go about your business.
Just like so, like
Another example, when a mother gives birth now, back in the days, hospitals were more onto a mother's mental state and make sure that she's okay to leave the hospital. That's why they let them stay 3, 4, 5 days. Now, nigga, first day you give birth, you're out of there. 16 hours later, you're getting discharged.
they're packing you up.
You know what I'm saying? So the mental state in medical fields is not as it used to be. That's why I'm feeding off of what he said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at what point where did people stop caring? It's like basically what it is.
Those are good questions, and I have a couple of layers that I want to get into. So, number one, I think there's a lot of misinformation, and clinicians aren't always trained properly to spot the right symptoms and to call out the right symptoms. So there are kind of like systemic inequities. I think that we're getting better at diagnosing. That's also why that's also why I often talk about what OCD looks like, because it is so misdiagnosed that so many people have it and it gets diagnosed as like generalized anxiety disorder. Some people have been diagnosed with schizophrenia.
It's like what? I'm sorry to cut you, but what is generalized like disorder? Like you're just generalizing it to what?
I'm going to probably catch heat for this, but I don't think generalized anxiety disorder and OCD are that different.
Okay.